here at the ballpark. 6 unearned runs for the Reds in the top of the 9th. And Aroldis Chapman trying to get a 5-out save. Lamar will stay in and play center. Bourgeois has gone to left. Here's Castro to lead it off.
Talk about bringing a gun to a knife fight. Chapman with an 8-run lead.
98 and a strike. It's his BP fastball. So let's see. Matthews, pitcher of record, is that right? Got so crazy there in the middle.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Got the final out of the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah,
he actually gave up a hit in order to get that out at third base, but then the 6th is when the Reds scored the 4 runs.
He threw 1 pitch, gave up a hit, and he figures to be the winner here.
Justin Grimm, the Cubs pitcher of record. A rare bad one tonight for him. He only recorded 1 out, gave up 3 hits, 2 big home runs. And he chased one in the dirt. Ball gets away from Barnhart. Matt Caesar. So this is it, JD. This is the last regular season game played with 25-man rosters. A lot of extra bench guys, bullpen guys starting tomorrow night.
Well, it's a challenge this time of year for a team in contention. You want to make sure you cover all your bases and add to your depth. But there is a fear of calling too many guys up. I guess just logistically getting to crowded clubhouse, guys climbing all over each other.
BP. Yeah. Well, I don't want to get into the long spiel that I usually get into every September, that I think every game day roster should be even. You're allowed as a manager maybe to make an even egregious mistake as that ball line to left caught by Bourgeois. And you can just go matchup, 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 matchup without much recourse. If I feel like strategically I've got an advantage in the dugout, I don't want the other manager to be able to match up all night. But
yeah,
those are the current rules in which we play.
Moves and counter moves.
I think we're going to go to a taxi squad situation at some point. It may not be this year, next year, the year after, but I think enough people would like to see it. When you get big league time, and you just simply submit a game day roster. And if you want to take your 4 starters who aren't working out of that mix and put extra bullpen guys in, that's fine. But I think we should cap it at a certain number. Okay, I'm done. I won't mention it again. Well, maybe once.
Yeah, we got a month. You know, there's going to be another blowout game somewhere along the way. We're going to have to discuss it next time there's in the September game when there's 13 pitching changes.
2-0 on Russell. Low and inside. 3-0. It looks like Chapman's just kind of, I wouldn't say easing it up there, but 98, 95 instead of 102, 103, which we saw in the 8th inning. Driven deep to left, way back and gone. That's a home run for Addison Russell. So he connects against Chapman. 13-6.
Matt Caesar had a real good swing against Chapman. He lined out. Russell lined one into the seats. Double home run, 3 driven in for Addison Russell here tonight. Beautiful swing. It's the Ford home run replay.
Again, another fastball at 95.
Russell joins the ranks with double digits. Yeah, it looks like Chapman is just trying to conserve a little bit here. That may change after that home run, because he really hasn't had to throw that many pitches in pursuit of this 2-inning save. There you go. Addison got his attention.
Yeah. If you want to know what his mood is, just look at the readout on the gun. It went from comfortable to I don't like giving up home runs. Now 100.
Take that. Wow. That's a nasty slider. And that's why a lot of people think that it might make sense to put Chapman in the rotation, because he's not a one-trick pony. He also has a changeup. That fastball slider combination, that's Randy Johnson like. There's a changeup.
Strike 3 called on a fastball at 101, and that'll do it. So Chapman gets the final 5 outs. 3 strikeouts. He did give up the home run to Russell, but the Reds grab the lead in the middle innings and pull away late as they grab game 1, 13-6.
Yeah, and after a dramatic win with Jake Arrieta pitching the no-hitter yesterday, Cubs come home here today. We thought maybe they might be a little fatigued, but certainly scored enough runs. Just a rare meltdown from Justin Grimm, and then a big add-on at the end for the Reds.
Denny's Beverage Depot toasted the game. Adam Duvall, just brought up from the minors, recently acquired from San Francisco, and a big go-ahead home run. 2-run shot off the bench in his Reds debut. So that'll wrap up our coverage from the ballpark. We have more to come from our studio. The final score tonight, the Reds 13, the Cubs 6. We're back here with you Wednesday 12:30 for our pregame coverage. Reds and Cubs here on CSN to wrap up the series. Now for JD and our entire crew, Len Casper inviting you to stay tuned for Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs post-game live.
Well, that escalated rather quickly. Reds thumped the Cubs in game 1 of the week-long homestand. Cap and Holly with you. Brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois on our Cubs post-game live. Okay, you fly all night. You wear your Onesies, you get here, you're tired, and the Reds just take advantage.
Well, they had a chance to get into this ball game. I mean, again, think back to the middle innings. Started to drive some guys in, got that lead, 4-run inning. Unfortunately, gave it right back. Justin Grimm not on his ball game. Sure, things got away in the 9th inning there. Somewhat expected, as I think we've all talked about many, many times, what getaway day is, getting into Chicago at 5:30. But I'll say this, there were enough mistakes for us to talk about tonight in the postgame show that really don't have anything to do with what time you got in.
All right, we'll talk about all of it. You'll hear from Joe Madden, and we'll run through some other things, including a look back on last night. It's all coming up. It's Cubs Postgame Live. He is Todd Hollingsworth. I'm David Kaplan. We'll be right back.
This is the Ford F-150, and this changes everything.
And so does this. Drive any new 2015 Ford F-150 with 0% financing for 72 months. See your local Ford dealer today.
Experience the power and flexibility of the Wagner Flexio 570 from Menards. It easily sprays stains, sealers, latex, and oil-based paints. It's light, fast, and quiet, making it perfect for both indoor and outdoor jobs. $99 after rebate. Make organizing easy with Dakota. Create a custom storage solution with the Dakota pre-finished shelving system. Using only a Phillips head screwdriver, you can easily assemble and adjust it to meet your storage needs. $358.
Save big money at Menards.
Since 1961, Pearl Vision has been providing expert eye care. Today, we make caring for your eyes even easier. Right now, buy one pair of glasses and get another pair free. This is genuine eye care in your neighborhood. This is Pearl Vision.
You're a parent, I'm a colonel, we're both busy people. So pick up my new hand-prepared $20 family fill-up meal. 8 pieces of original recipe chicken, 2 large mashed potatoes and gravy, a large coleslaw, and 4 biscuits. I'll get back to you. It's finger-licking good.
There are measures we can offer. Other agents in the field.
I work alone.
Okay, what's it gonna take?
I want a guarantee.
He wants the card.
I'm in.
He's good.
Drop my phone.
Cubs Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers, as reliable as the cars themselves. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Audi, truth in engineering. Menards, save big money at Menards. And by Toyota, the annual clearance event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. This is Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs Postgame Live.
Let the runners go. The throw's going to go to second. Out. Chris Bryant thrown out by Tucker Barnhart. That is a huge play, and it ends the 8th inning.
Well, Reds put 13 up. They beat the Cubs by a touchdown tonight. 13-11-0 is a whole lot better than 6-9-3. Pulling that defense up for tomorrow. Cubs pounded by Cincy in Game 1 of a week-long homestand. Good evening, hello, welcome into Cubs Post-Game Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. He is Todd Hollingsworth. I'm David Kaplan. Tight game late, and then Starlin Castro just didn't have his glove with him today.
Well, plays weren't made late in the ball game. I mean, we could target the walks. We could talk about that. We could talk about the plays that weren't made. You're right, just a little bit too much of it. I've talked about it already. We know what was going on with the team getting in late after Arrieta's no-no last night. You kind of expect a little bit of it, but not this much of it. These plays got to be made. This is big league baseball. Don't care what the circumstances are. It's go time. I mean, it's August 31st. September starts tomorrow, and this is a big homestand for this team. These are wins you want to get, and the Cincinnati Reds, boy, they took it to us tonight.
They absolutely did. And here's one. The other one I understood it could happen. That one can't happen.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, you could tap dance around it. I could give you multiple excuses for why maybe something like this happens. You see the little hesitation there. Maybe it throws them off. This is the big leagues. These plays got to be made plain and simple. They can't. And this leads to one thing. I mean, we talked about it. 6 unearned runs in the 9th inning, and it, you know, any shot. I mean, I know we sit back and we look at the 9th inning. We say Addison Russell takes Chapman deep. Well, what could have been? You know, maybe things go a little bit differently. But again, just a sloppy game and a sloppy inning for the Cubs.
Let's go to the 6th inning. Cubs were up 5-3. Justin Grimm in the middle innings closer. As Joe Madden likes to call him, with a man aboard, Eugenio Suarez, deep and gone to right. And all of a sudden, we're locked up at 5 on the Oppo 2-run shot. Grimm's streak of 17 straight scoreless outings snapped. First runs allowed since July 20.
Well, and again, this is a great swing on a a 95-mile-an-hour fastball low and away. I mean, I find it difficult to say he needs to make a better pitch here. Great swing from Suarez. That's what I'm saying. Goes out, had a game plan there, was looking fastball away. Big swing right there, drove it out the other way. So, you know, yeah, listen, Justin Grimm, we know how good he's been this year, and he had a rough one tonight as well. But it wasn't as if he was falling behind hitters. It was necessarily pitches out over the plate. They jumped him.
All right, time for our Sports Authority play of the game. 6th inning. Adam Duvall, 30 homers in the minors this season. There's #1 in the big leagues. A pinch hit, 2-run shot out of the ballpark. First of the year, and all of a sudden it is 7-5 Reds. Holly, that ball was murdered.
Whoa, now that's the mistake. That's the one you want to talk about right there. You don't want to see that big, fat curveball hanging. Got to get down in the zone. Got to get to the back of the plate right there. He does it, leaves it up at the belt buckle right there, and it gets deposited down the left field line. Nice swing right there.
First of his career in a Reds uniform, 4th of his big league career overall. Time for our Cholula hot sauce pitching recap. Aroldis Chapman has the hot sauce. Holy smokes. Bottom 8 on for a 5-out save. 2 men on for Tommy La Stella, and he is down on strikes.
Yeah, didn't have to throw too many strikes here, but this is what Aroldis Chapman can bring to the table. When you see 102, you have a tendency to expand your strike zone.
Now, explain this one to me. I don't understand the decision to run with Chris Bryant.
I think you're just looking to get something in motion right here. You're looking at Aroldis Chapman on the mound. You're trying to put some guys in motion, see what can happen, see if a play can be made. It's not a play I necessarily would call, but again, guys are moving, and they tried to make something happen right there.
Yep, trying to get a man in the scoring position. All right, we've got to take a timeout. We come back, we will hear from Joe Madden, the Cubs manager. Come right back. Everything presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
There's so many details that go into building an asymmetric surfboard. Designing things for myself at first was really an exciting thing. But watching somebody else ride something I made, I mean, that's really where it's at. There are lots of ways, you know, to refresh the world, but in the end, I just want to give people something they can enjoy.
You're a parent, I'm a colonel, we're both busy people. So pick up my new hand-prepared $20 family fill-up meal. 8 pieces of original recipe chicken, 2 large mashed potatoes and gravy, a large coleslaw, and 4 biscuits. I'll get back to you. It's finger-licking good.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Cholula Hot Sauce, the flavorful hot sauce with the iconic wooden cap.
It's the Gerald Kia Grand Opening Celebration. Come and share in our celebration as we open new doors on Aurora and Ogden Avenue in Naperville. We're celebrating by giving you the biggest discounts of the year with the largest inventory in Chicagoland, backed by Gerald's exclusive lifetime warranty. Gerald Kia will serve you better. Come test drive a new Kia today and see why Gerald Kia is the 2015 National Dealer of the Year for excellence in customer satisfaction. Come in today to celebrate the grand opening of the all-new Gerald Kia of Naperville.
When it comes to fulfilling our customers' expectations, Gerald Subaru of North Aurora has earned a reputation for excellence. We are one of an elite group of Subaru dealers awarded the Subaru Stellar Care Award for excellence in customer satisfaction. Gerald Subaru of North Aurora has one of the largest Subaru inventories in Chicagoland, which means you can drive home today in the Subaru of your choice. Plus, all Gerald vehicles are covered by an exclusive lifetime warranty. Gerald Subaru of North Aurora is dedicated to you. Gerald Subaru of North Aurora is always a better deal, I guarantee it.
Comcast Sportsnet, your home for Chicago Cubs baseball.
All right, time to hear from Joe Madden. It's our Xfinity post-game press conference. Joe?
Kind of a bad ending, too. It was actually didn't start that good. In the middle part of the book was actually a pretty good read. Then eventually became a nasty ending. I mean, once Grimmer got in that game, I felt actually really good about it. Rested bullpen, Grimm, Rodney, Stropey, and Rondon. I felt really strongly about it, and they just popped 2 quick homers right there. That caused you to use the bullpen a little bit differently, and it just did not want to play in the end. I mean, the walks by Travis in the 9th inning really set it up, although we were out of it with the ground ball, but nevertheless, that's uncharacteristic of him to walk just like that, walk guys with pitches that didn't have that normal crispness about them. So listen, there's this, I am over it already. You just throw that one away.
What do you make of Kyle?
I thought Kyle had good stuff tonight. I thought he had really good stuff tonight. I know he'd like to have 2 pitches back, the one that the base hit up the middle with 2 outs and the base hit by Phillips. But I thought stuff-wise from the side, good movement on the fastball, some really good changeups, a couple good hooks. But I thought his stuff was actually pretty good tonight.
Did Starlin lose concentration on the first one that night? What caused?
The first, the one to his left, you'd have to ask him. I don't know if the concentration was there or not. The second one, I think what I saw happen was Addison looked like he was going to throw to first base and then threw to second base, and maybe Starlin took his eye off of him because he thought he was throwing to first base. So a little bit of a deke, but it was still a good throw, and he should have caught it. But I think that's what happened.
You've been around this game a long time.
Don't make me that old, my God. Okay. I'm not. You might be, but I'm not. Oh, I think our team's fine, actually. We're playing pretty well. We had a bad night. We got off the plane. We got in bed at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm really pleased with our group, actually.
I know you've said outcome bias in the past, but was the intent when you walked Votto, just you felt the righty-righty matchup and getting Phelps to hit something?
Yeah, see, I have no problem with a base being open. It doesn't have to be first base. It was a much better matchup with Kyle pitching versus Phillips as opposed to Votto right there. So, and I'm anticipating really a close game still at that point. I did not anticipate that many runs. So, just looking at our work and just all of that, yeah, I felt a whole lot better pitching versus Phillips as opposed to Votto right there, and it didn't work.
The double steal on the 8th was a kind of...
Well, you're facing Chapman, so you don't really anticipate a couple hits in a row, and if you get the guy to second base, second and third, we've done that to him before, and then all of a sudden it takes a single to tie the game. It didn't play. So the thing is, you got to continue to be aggressive, try to continue with the aggressive moves. Sometimes they don't play out, and then they look that way. But I was on board with all of that stuff.
All right, let's take a look at the Blue Cross Blue Shield key to the Cubs' loss.
Well, I don't know if it was the key. Kind of coming into this one, I felt like there was 2 different angles we could have gone after this. We were talking about the Cubs getting in late and sometimes what happens in these ball games. I thought it was more important to talk about the clutch. Now, the Cubs have not been coming through with runners in scoring position much better tonight. What you're watching right there are the highlights of the inning in which they got it done. 3 for 9 in the ball game tonight, which is certainly a little bit better. Hitters are feeling better about their swing, but that's the one thing that I picked up off this road trip that's got to be better as we move into September. Cubs hitters coming through with base hits. It cannot be. We can't start relapsing back to where it's only about home runs once again. We got to start driving the ball back through the box, and you saw a little bit of it tonight, so I think it's something that I believe will play into tomorrow as some of our slumping hitters start to come out of it a little bit.
All right, our UPS store taking care of business player of the game. We're going to give it to Dexter Fowler. 2 extra base hits, his 35th multi-hit game of the season. and he got things rolling early in the third with a home run.
Well, I love the approach. I mean, think about it back to last night. 3 hits down the left field line. That's not easy to do. That's letting the ball get deep. A lot of people have been wondering, you know, Dexter Fowler's success here in the second half. Really, what's he done? He's moved off the plate. He's given himself some space up there. A lot of talk about the walks, but you see, when you allow yourself to have some space up there, you can let that ball get deep and still drive it down the left field line.
There's Cubs box score. You see the 2 for 5 for Fowler. You got a knock for Schwarber. He drove in a run. You got Coghlan a knock. Couple for Chris Bryant with an RBI and a walk. 2 hits for Addison Russell, a double and a home run. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. A lot more to do yet on our Blue Cross Blue Shield Cubs postgame live. Be right back.
However you do sports, however you do fun, however you do summer, do it at Sports Authority. Shop thousands of great deals this summer. Sports Authority.
Hey, Ralph Punzel.
Oh, hey, Ronnie.
Where are you headed?
Great Clips.
You're getting a haircut?
I checked in already. Using their online check-in.
I'm dying to check.
It saves you time.
You're getting a haircut.
Why? Thinking about applying to astronaut school.
That's cool.
Okay, I'll see you, Ronnie.
Next time, save time. Download the online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Right now, lease a 2015 Mini Cooper S for just $199 a month, but act fast. The clock is ticking.
You're a parent, I'm a colonel, we're both busy people. So pick up my new hand-prepared $20 family fill-up meal. 8 pieces of original recipe chicken, 2 large mashed potatoes and gravy, a large coleslaw, and 4 biscuits.
I'll get back to you.
It's finger-licking good.
From the people who brought you underwhelming internet speeds and the people who brought you temperamental satellite television. Introducing underwhelming internet speeds and temperamental television in one. Welcome to the moment no one's been waiting for.
The fastest internet and the best TV experience is already here with X1, only from Xfinity.
You can't always be there to protect her down the road. Make sure the tires she's riding on will with the revolutionary Michelin Premier tire. Safe when new, safe when worn.
Time for our Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, and plumbing. Who's hot and who's not? It's the Shark and the Snake. There you go, Jake the Snake. How about that? 6-0 with a .43 ERA with 43 Ks. Jeff Samardzija 0-6 with an 8.82 and 13 walks. Rough month for our buddy the Shark. Before the game tonight, the man of the hour, Jake Arrieta, honored with a video tribute, a plaque, and some memorabilia to remember his big night in Los Angeles last night. He's got his wife and his child out there, and just a really cool thing to see. Jake's great, and that got us to thinking about some of the great moments from 2015. Let's take a look back. Back on August 12 against the Brewers, Anthony Rizzo playing the role of Spider-Man. Up on the tarp, then the brick wall, making an amazing catch. One great moment wasn't enough in this one. Veteran catcher Miguel Montero in the 10th. Oppo walk-off celebration on at Wrigley. July 21st, now affectionately known as the Schwarber game. In Cincinnati, Cubs trailing by 2 runs in the 9th. Kyle Schwarber comes through with the game-tying 2-run blast. And he wasn't done yet. Into extras in the 13th. Schwarber goes deep again. Cubs win 5-4 in a 4-hour, 51-minute marathon. Rookie Chris Bryant showing an uncanny ability to come through in the clutch this season. July 27th, after the Cubs blew a big lead, Bryant back in the 9th with a 2-run walk-off shot that beat the Rockies. And just 1 week ago, after another blown lead against Cleveland in the 9th, Bryant again untied the game with a walk-off home run. Cubs beat the Tribe 2-1. And, of course, last night's performance, best of the year. Jake Arrieta ranks at the top. He was absolutely unhittable. His electric outing capped a nearly perfect month of August. 14th no-hitter in Cubs history, put the exclamation mark on a 6-0 run through the month. Okay, what is your top moment of the year?
It is right there, Jake Arrieta. I mean, I love the moments with the young players. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I was an offensive player. It's great to see Kyle Schwarber and Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo and Addison Russell. These guys coming up with great big moments. What do we got, 12 walk-offs this season? I mean, that's just absolutely awesome. I mean, these are fantastic moments. They're isolated. I love them. I love talking about them, and I love the fact that these kids are growing up in front of our eyes and that we've got playoff conversation here in September. That being said, what happened last night with Jake Arrieta, I think, is absolutely at the top of the list for me, merely because I've been waiting for it, as many of us here in Chicago really have been. We've kind of thought, you know, Jake has got this kind of stuff. He's been consistent. He's taken us down this path into the 5th and 6th innings, 7th innings many times, and he finished it last night. Great to see, as consistent as anybody in the game of baseball right now. I know on the national level he is respected in the top 3. He's in the Cy Young conversation, no doubt about it, but well worth it. That was the cherry on top of your Sunday right there for an incredible month. Think about that, 6-0 with a .43 ERA in a month that matters, by the way, as we continue to push. That is, to me, the big moment.
All right, Theo Epstein added some outfield depth for the stretch run today, acquiring Austin Jackson from Seattle for a player to be named later, plus an international signing slot. Todd, deal is done. Your thoughts on the depth Jackson adds, because the last 35 days, he's been really good.
Absolutely awesome. Yeah, I went back and looked it up. I knew that there was going to be more to it than just Austin Jackson and playoff experience and outfield depth. You're picking up a hot hitter. Why not? 28 for his last 71. 394 over his last 3 weeks. So ripping the cover off the baseball. You're picking up somebody who, again, as I said, has got playoff experience, has been through these battles, has been through the wars, is a great athlete. He's versatile. He's got 15 stolen bases on the season. This is a nice pickup, nice acquisition. You can pair him with Cogs. You can use him in multiple spots.
All right, we'll take a quick time out. Come right back. Cubs post-game live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Don't forget Sportsnet Central coming up next.
Kate!
She can't go alone. Give me your hand! That was close.
We manufacture pinball machines, and we are all about pinball. As we were deciding to move to Elk Grove Village, we were contacted by many different government officials. We spoke directly with Governor Walker of Wisconsin. We were in contact with the governments in Indiana and in Tennessee. We investigated numerous different areas, and we decided the best place for us was here in Elk Grove Village.
You're a parent, I'm a colonel, we're both busy people. So pick up my new hand-prepared $20 family fill-up meal. 8 pieces of original recipe chicken, 2 large mashed potatoes and gravy, a large coleslaw, and 4 biscuits.
I'll get back to you.
It's finger-licking good.
One thing we can rely on in this house is UVerse high-speed internet.
I've been streaming movies all day without any problems.
UVerse high-speed internet has brought much-needed reliability to our life.
It's got reliability you can rely on.
With 99.9% reliability, it's one thing you can rely on. Get UVerse high-speed internet for $15 a month for 12 months with other qualifying service on one bill and a 1-year term.
Finish your new look with Window Images blinds from Menards. This 23 by 72-inch cordless cellular shade in white or alabaster, only $29.99. Find the right color and look for every room with Bolly blinds and shades, now 20% off. Save big with Metalux fluorescent lights, ideal for your home or business. This 48-inch high bay uses 6 energy-efficient T8 fluorescent bulbs. Right now, it's just $69.96.
Save big money at Menards.
Tom posted.
Dogs grew, car didn't. Hashtag Great Dane problems.
Wow, how old are they?
8 months.
You're gonna need a CRV, and you could find a great deal on one at the Honda Summer Clearance event. The CRV is Motor Trend's 2015 Sport Utility of the Year and a 2015 IIHS Top Safety Pick.
Oh, he likes it.
Perfect.
Hurry in to the Honda Summer Clearance Event for a great deal on your new Honda.
Baez in his major league debut tonight. High and deep, right center field. Javier Baez with a home run. Well, baby, that ball exploded out of here.
I love it around
Glad
here.
I can be everyone's punching bag. All right, Cubs finish August 19 and 9. It means tomorrow is the September 1st call-up. So the first time in a long time, Cubs hoping for players to help their cause in a playoff run. Javi Baez back tomorrow. Your thoughts?
I want to see him play. I mean, that's what I'm excited for. Listen, there is a chemistry. You know, it's different than last year where expectations were what they were. And you know, maybe we'll say Baez didn't meet those expectations. Too many strikeouts, numbers weren't what they needed to be. But I look at this healthy, young environment that we've got going on here in Chicago, and now he's part of it. I love it. I hope he gets an awful lot of opportunity to play, and I hope he's on his game. That's really what I want to see from Baez, because I think they're going to give him a chance.
Check out the pitching matchup for tomorrow's game, too. It's Anthony DeSclafani and Dan Herron, who, as he said, needs to be better.
Oh, he's got to be better. No doubt about it. The one thing that we'll talk about here is keeping the ball in the yard. I think that's going to be big for Dan Herron. I mean, his pitchers are doing what they need to do, but we talk about the mistakes at times that have cost him, and it really has been the long ball more than anything. So keeping the ball in the yard will definitely be key tomorrow.
All right, thank you for watching Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Cubs and Reds tomorrow, and then Holly and I will be back on Wednesday for our next CSN broadcast. We hand it off to the dynamic duo of Mark Schanowski and Luke Stuckmeyer. Sportsnet Central is next.
What an introduction. Tough to follow that up.
Yeah, I just feel honored.
We're going to welcome you in, though, to Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC. He's Luke Stuckmeyer. I'm Mark Schanowski.
Jake Arrieta continues to make headlines the day after his historic performance at Dodger Stadium. But tonight was a night that Starlin Castro would like to forget.
Kip Lewis will report from Hallis Hall, where there could be a changing of the guard on the Bears' offensive line.
And the Fighting Illini try to put the old Tim Beckman era behind him. It's all ahead on Sportsnet Central right now.
To Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC.
He always had a lot of promise with the Baltimore. He's taken it to a completely different level with the Cubs. Nasty slider at 90 to strike him out. To his left, Russell. Got it. And he is through 8 with the no-hitter intact. It'll be up to Chase Utley. He's flirted with them before. He's a strike away now. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, a no-hitter. Jake Arrieta has just pitched a no-hitter at Dodger Stadium. A curveball got Utley swinging, and Arrieta being mauled by his teammates. What a great performance by Jake Arrieta.
All right, so guess who won the National League's Player of the Week award? Yes, Jake Arrieta couldn't have been more dominant in no-hitting the Dodgers last night. He only allowed a pair of base runners, one on an error, one on a walk. Arrieta struck out 12, including all 3 batters he faced in the 9th inning. Remember, Jake also started the road trip off with a victory over the Giants last Tuesday, giving him 15 scoreless innings for the week. He's been unbelievable. And before tonight's series opener against the Reds, Arrieta was honored on field for his no-hitter during a brief ceremony that included his family, his pitching coach Chris Bosio, and the guy who caught the no-hitter, Miguel Montero. Highlights of the performance were shown on the 2 new video boards. Glad those were installed in time. And Jake was presented with a watch for his National League Player of the Week honor, suitable for framing.
It's still kind of sinking in, really, and I think it might even take a while, really, to really truly appreciate it. You know, it happened so quick. There was 2 runs scored in the whole game, and they came in the top of the first, and then from that point on, it was just, out after out after out. I mean, pretty much on both sides. So it was extremely special.
It was special indeed. Now it's time for you at home to get involved with tonight's Twitter question in honor of Jake Arrieta. What are your top moments so far from the Cubs' 2015 season? I guarantee nothing from tonight's game will qualify. You can use the hashtag CubsTalk. We'll have some of your answers later in the show. Facing the midnight deadline for setting playoff rosters, the Cubs add some outfield depth to the stretch run. They acquire Austin Jackson from Seattle for a player to be named later, plus an international signing slot. The 28-year-old Jackson was hitting .272 with 8 homers and 15 stolen bases. He's batting .314 since the All-Star break. Jackson homered against the White Sox yesterday. He's also considered an excellent defensive player. He'll be a free agent at the end of the season.
And I've seen him for a long time in the American League. He's a really good player. And when he starts swinging the bat well, he's very productive. Fine outfielder, good base runner, stolen bases. Kind of a complete player. So to be able to pick him up right now, I think we're very fortunate.
A little bit more of a need with Soler being out?
Yeah, just in the depth component also. It always, you never know what's going to happen during the course of the next month. If somebody were to get hurt again, all of a sudden you're really backs against the wall. So we just talked to Theo about it today. Went back and forth about all the reasons why you would do something like that. And we felt good about it.
Could turn out to be a great acquisition with the Jorge Soler injury, but as for the game itself, you'd almost feel a letdown coming after all the hoopla surrounding the Arrieta no-hitter and, of course, the long flight back from the West Coast. Started off okay. Dexter Fowler's home run in the 3rd inning gave the Cubs a 1-0 lead. 4th inning, though, Reds with a runner aboard. Brandon Phillips lines out to second, but Starlin Castro with a wild throw. Joey Votto would eventually score to make it 1-1. Top of the 5th inning. After an intentional walk, Votto loaded the bases with 2 outs. The strategy backfires. Phillips comes through with a single to left field. 2 runs will cross the plate. Cincinnati up 3-1. Kyle Hendricks, the Cubs starter, gave up 3 runs in just 5 innings. Cubs are 0 for 18 with runners in scoring position during the weekend series against the Dodgers. Bottom of the 5th with 2 runners on. Addison Russell doubles down the left field line. Ball takes a favorable Cubs bounce, so both runners will cross the plate. Russell's double ties the game at 3, and things are looking up for the home team. 2 batters later, it's Kyle Schwarber, who's been slumping lately. He comes through with a base hit back up the middle. Russell comes around to score. Cubs score 4 times in the inning. They're up 5-3, so everything's great, right? Well, not this time. Justin Grimm on in relief in the 6th inning. You remember the story. Didn't know that Jake Arrieta was pitching a no-hitter last night. Well, apparently, he didn't know how many runs the Reds were scoring in this game. He gave a couple of 2-run jacks. You saw the first one there by Ivan DeJesus Jr. This is pinch hitter Adam Duvall onto Waveland Avenue. Duvall was called up hours before the game, goes deep in his first major league at bat. 7-5 Cincinnati. Grimm's worst outing of the season, gave up 4 runs in just 1/3 of an inning. Bottom of the 8th, Cubs with 2 runners on and 1 out. The Reds bring in their closer early, Aroldis Chapman. Tommy LaStella can't check his swing on the high heat. And then Joe Madden tries a double steal with 2 outs, and it backfires. Chris Bryant thrown out at second, and that would end the Cubs rally. Top of the 9th, bases loaded with 2 outs. Eugenio Suarez ground ball to Castro, who boots it. The throw is high. Runner scores on Castro's 2nd error of the night. We may not see him at second base again for a while. It got worse from there. Now 10-5. Russell fields the ground ball, throws to second, but Castro drops the ball. Give him 3 errors on the night, 4th in the last 2 games. Wow, the Reds piled on the runs late. 13-6 is the unhappy final. Joe Madden, what happened tonight?
Kind of a bad ending, too. It was actually didn't start that good. In the middle part of the book was actually a pretty good read. Then eventually became a nasty ending. I mean, once Grimmer got in that game, I felt actually really good about it. Rested bullpen, Grimm, Rodney, Stropey, and Rondon. I felt really strongly about it, and they just popped 2 quick homers right there. That caused you to use the bullpen a little bit differently, and it just did not want to play in the end. I mean, the walks by Travis in the 9th inning really set it up, although we were out of it with the ground ball, but nevertheless, that's uncharacteristic of him to walk just like that, walk guys with pitches that didn't have that normal crispness about them. So listen, there's this, I am over it already. you just throw that one away.
Now it's time for our Bears preseason coverage, brought to you by Apt Electronics, Appliances, and more. Don't expect to see Jay Cutler playing the final preseason game, and the same might go for his backup. Jimmy Clausen was held out of practice today with delayed concussion symptoms from a fourth-quarter hit. As for the guys protecting the Bears quarterbacks, well, their status could be up in the air, too. Kip Lewis has the story from Hallis Hall.
We've got options. We got guys we're looking at. To say it's perfectly settled at this point, probably not the case.
The options John Fox is referring to is at right tackle, where so far this preseason, it's been a rotation of Jordan Mills and Charles Leno, neither of which has been able to lock down the spot to this point. And because of that, Kyle Long is back taking some reps at right tackle with Vladimir Dukas at right guard. But Long is yet to play in live game action on the outside.
Well, he's had plenty of practice at both guard and tackle. We'll end up whoever ends up, proving they're worthy. And, I think there's a certain amount of comfort in what this is, and then there's, I don't know that you ever really get comfortable because, it's very fluid, and, it's been like that every season I've been in the league, and I'm sure this one will be no different.
On defense, there is plenty of shuffling as well. The release of former Pro Bowler Tim Jennings means the Bears will have 4 new starters in the secondary. Alan Ball, an 8-year veteran, is the likely candidate to start opposite of Kyle Fuller. The former Jacksonville Jaguar started 22 games over the last 2 seasons before arriving in Chicago, where he's now recovered from off-season biceps and ankle injuries.
I feel healthy. I think coming through OTAs and minicamp, getting that rest and working me back in through training camp, I think just getting confidence back in my body and getting the healing and getting everything together. It's been a process. It's been a long process, something I wasn't really accustomed to or used to. But I think the training staff did a good job with me, and we worked together hand in hand, and it's all been good. I'm feeling really positive and healthy going forward.
The secondary will also have a new guy playing the nickel position that could end up in the hands of Sherrick McManus, who spent the majority of his first 5 years in the NFL as a special teams standout.
Pretty comfortable. I don't know everything yet. There is the know at the nickel position, and I doubt that'll ever happen. I'm just continue to grow, like I said, and watch film, and my comfort level will get better and better each day.
With the Bears at Hallis Hall, Kip Lewis, Comcast Sportsnet.
Thanks, Kip. Coming up, we're going to hear from Starlin Castro after tonight's game. White Sox had the day off, but that didn't stop some members of the 05 championship team from weighing in on the current White Sox. Jake Arrieta only has 6 more no-hitters to go to catch his childhood idol, Nolan Ryan. The Cubs writing explains how he channeled the Ryan Express as he made history last night at Dodger Stadium. It's almost time for college football. The Illini looking to move on from Tim Beckman, and Coach Fitz is going with a redshirt freshman at quarterback. Details next on Sportsnet Central.
Bears preseason coverage is presented by Apt Electronics, Appliances, and more since 1936. Sportsnet Central on Comcast Sportsnet is presented to you by GMC. We are professional grade.
A pitcher who can paint the corners is known as a Rembrandt. At GMC, we get why people love that kind of precision. After all, in everything we build, that's exactly what we deliver. This is precision. This is GMC.
Now during the GMC Summer Sell Down, get cash back for 20% of the MSRP on select Sierra models in stock the longest. That's over $10,000 on this Sierra.
Are you worried, losing sleep over bills? Almost half of Americans say their #1 worry is too much debt. You don't have to worry alone. I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Geraci Law knows the law on bankruptcy debt relief. Get your debt-free options from one of the oldest and largest debt relief agencies in America. Call us or click now.
If you're worried about debt, call now to see if you qualify. 1-800-401-4010.
For over 50 years, Discount Tire has been the place where America saves on tires.
Hey, what's up, my man Chuckles?
How's it going? So, what's with the getup? Did I miss the memo or something like that?
No, you missed out on the Illinois Lottery Cash for Life game. You can win thousands of dollars a week for the rest of your life. You know what that means, buddy? I'm not taking any chances. None.
Win up to $5,000 a week with Cash for Life from the Illinois Lottery. The longer you live, the more you get. B-Dubs just got more obsessed with beer. They're featuring items like the Oktoberfest beer cheese dippers. It's got tortilla chips, pretzel bites, and kettle chips, all ready to be dipped in Samuel Adams' Oktoberfest beer cheese dip. Buffalo Wild Wings, beer, sports.
Welcome back. The White Sox enjoying a day off. They're back in action tomorrow night right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Chris Sale facing the Red Hot Twins at Target Field. Paul Molitor's guys have won 8 of their last 10. Earlier today, we caught up with former Sox sluggers Jermaine Dye and Frank Thomas, who talked about the rough season for Robin Ventura's crew.
It's been tough. I mean, you know, it's been an up and down year for those guys. You know, they looked pretty good right before the All-Star break. They got on a big winning streak, so you felt like the season was going to turn around. And, you know, some guys are having some tough years.
Honestly, it's been a bad season. You know, it's been a roller coaster up and down. You know, they've tried everything. I mean, they stay loyal to the team. I don't think I could have stayed loyal at the break, you know, with this team. I think at the trade deadline I would have made some moves, but they played so well at the break they kind of handcuffed Rick Hahn and the whole situation. But that's just what it is.
Well, here's one move that wasn't made. According to John Heyman of CBS Sports, White Sox closer David Robertson was claimed on waivers by his former team, the Yankees, over the weekend. But the Sox didn't engage in any serious trade talks with New York and eventually pulled Robertson back off waivers. GM Rick Hahn is still confident this team has the talent to show improvement in 2016.
And the pitch. Swing and a miss, a no-hitter. Jake Arrieta has just pitched a no-hitter at Dodger Stadium. A curveball got Utley swinging, and Arrieta being mobbed by his teammates. Cubs win 2-0.
His Cy Young resume speaks for itself this season, but now Jake Arrieta can also add this nugget to his name. He's just the third pitcher in the last 50 years to strike out the side to finish off a no-hitter. Kelly Krull has more on your National League Pitcher of the Month.
Jake Arrieta flirted with perfection in one iconic venue last season, and the righty said because of that experience, he wasn't even a little nervous as he approached history Sunday night at Dodger Stadium.
Not really, actually. Since I've had a couple games like that in the past, a couple into the 7th inning, so I was pretty confident of how to handle it, and really just not allowing the moment to dictate my mentality or my mindset.
I was just excited for him. I wasn't surprised once I realized that what had happened. I just thought it was kind of like a complete game, but once everybody ran on the field, then I was running out on the field. I kind of looked back and saw it said first career no hitters, so I was like, yeah. It didn't surprise me at all, though. He's got great stuff. Unbelievable.
And anytime Jake pitches, it's kind of easy to play defense behind him because he throws a lot of strikes and works quick. And I mean, yesterday he was just on it.
It's been a few too many times, especially with him on the mound, where you think early, okay, this is the one. And this one, for me at least, was different. It was more just to not think it. And then the 9th inning there, just one out at a time.
And that night, last night, you can't just draw it up any more perfectly than it turned out. Whether it was obviously his performance, his performance in that venue, against that team.
Just like his childhood idol, Nolan Ryan, Arrieta struck out 12 batters in his first career no-hitter. It may be a long shot to reach Ryan's record of 7 no-hitters, but one thing Arrieta matches every time out, the trademark intensity of the Ryan Express.
He was a huge idol of mine growing up as a kid. Just his intimidation factor, his competitiveness. You could tell he put fear in hitters' eyes. He was just that good.
Ryan followed up his first career no-hitter with an encore performance exactly 2 months later. And if Arrieta is on the mound pitching exactly 2 months after his no-hitter, he'll likely be pitching in Game 3 of the World Series, right here at Wrigley Field. Covering the Cubs, I'm Kelly Crawl for Comcast Sportsnet.
Thanks, Kelly. Starlin Castro with a game he'd like to forget tonight, committing 3 errors in the Cubs' loss to the Reds. He now has 4 errors in the last 2 games. Here's Castro after the game on the miscues.
I don't have any excuse of this, but he should have made that play. You know, it's right in the chest. We don't have any nothing can say about this. You know, just have to make that play. It's a really bad night for me and the team. You know, but just come back tomorrow and keep the head up and try to make every play and keep swinging the bat.
Time for tonight's Country Financial top performers. Bartolo Colon finds the fountain of youth. He throws 8 scoreless innings while striking out 9. Mets beat the Phillies. Indians' Danny Salazar outdueling David Price. He struck out 10 Jays in 7 innings. Cleveland tops Toronto 4-2. And Mookie Betts 2 for 4, a 2-run homer. The Red Sox beat the Yankees.
College football teams across the country will kick off their seasons later this week. The big question in Champaign, how quickly can the Illinois players rebound from the surprising firing of Tim Beckman last Friday? Former offensive coordinator Bill Cubitt takes over as interim head coach. He's confident the Illini will be ready when the season opens Friday night against visiting Kent State.
Friday, it's here. You know, it's one of those things. It seems like it's been so far, but now it's just right around the corner. Can't thank enough the players. They've been unbelievable. The community's been unbelievable. I like the way the community is rallying around these student athletes. I've got a lot of feedback from alumni from as far back over there as Washington on wishing our kids luck and seeing that they need our support. So that's been a great sign.
Meanwhile, over in Evanston, Northwestern gears up for a brutally tough 2015 schedule. It starts Saturday morning, a home date against 21st-ranked Stanford. The Wildcats are going with redshirt freshman Clayton Thorson as their starting quarterback. The former Wheaton North High School star won a 3-way competition for that job, and head coach Pat Fitzgerald credited Thorson's leadership as one of the main reasons.
The empirical data, the leadership, you know, it was very close, and it was really neck and neck all the way through. But when you went down to just made it purely about that, those numbers, you know, he had won the job.
And just becoming a leader. You know, as a freshman, you got to be a leader. You got to step up, and that's something that coaches stress to me, especially being a freshman. So I wouldn't pinpoint on one thing, but I think it's just becoming a quarterback of this team.
Former Notre Dame star Everett Golson has won the starting quarterback position at Florida State. As you recall, Golson decided to transfer for his 5th season of eligibility rather than compete with Malik Zaire for the starting job with the Irish. Florida State opens the season Saturday at home against Texas State. Luke, I kind of like the Seminoles.
That'll be a fun one to watch, I think. Coming up, a local high school star becomes an internet sensation. Wait till you see this. And 3 errors by Starlin Castro. The bullpen collapses. But help is on the way starting tomorrow. Details are next.
It's a golden opportunity to discover the luxury of freedom, to venture further, to experience more, to make a routine of breaking with routine. Come into the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event, where you'll find some of the best offers of the year on our most capable models. Lease the all-wheel drive 2015 RX 350 for $399 a month for 36 months, and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
White Sox fans,
Want to receive exclusive ticket offers and pre-sales, video sneak peeks, breaking news alerts, and more all year long? Then you need to join the White Sox community by becoming a member of the WhiteSox.com Blacklist. The Blacklist is the only way to ensure you know about the latest and greatest promotional items, ticket deals, and special ballpark activities. Don't miss out on all the top White Sox news. Visit WhiteSox.com/Blacklist to register for free today.
I was in love once. Long time ago. Gonna get married, move to Chicago. Something happened. An accident. Guy said he never even saw her.
For over 50 years, Discount Tire has been the place where America saves on tires.
The stakes are high as the Sox fight for their playoff lives in a huge series up north against the division rival Twins. It's Abreu versus Mauer. White Sox versus Twins. Tomorrow at 7 on CSN. Visit CSNChicago.com for great deals on your favorite team's merchandise. From jerseys and hats to autographed memorabilia and more. Outfit yourself in your favorite team's gear and visit the fan shop at CSNChicago.com now.
It's the series finale with rival Cincinnati. With a wild card in our sights, Kyle Schwarber and Anthony Rizzo are looking to inch one step closer to history. Cubs versus Reds, Wednesday at 12:30 on CSN.
We're back with our Great Clips download of the week. It features Marist High School kick returner Darshawn McCullough. He raced 99 yards to the end zone against Mount Carmel last Friday, but it's the way he got there that's special. Refuses to go down, spinning his way through defenders. Finally gets all the way across the goal line. For more, you can log on to csnchicago.com or download the Great Clips app on your iPhone or Android. Great effort there.
Our GMC professional grade player is Adam Duvall of the Reds. Hit the go-ahead two-run homer off of Jason Grimm in the sixth. Grimm giving up 4 runs in just a third of an inning. Cubs lose to the Reds 13-6. Cubs also announced after the game that Javi Baez will join the team as part of tomorrow's September call-ups. Baez was hitting .321 with 13 homers in 70 games at AAA Iowa. Also joining the Cubs, pitcher Tsuyoshi Wada and Trevor Cahill. Outfielder Quentin Berry will also join the team. Earlier, we asked you to share some of your top moments from the Cubs season. David says top moment was that Rizzo foul ball catch in the stands. We've been talking about that for a long time. Matthew tweets the 4-game sweep of the Giants, the Bryant walk-off against the Rockies, and Schwarbs with the go-ahead homer against the Reds. How about the no-hitter yesterday?
That was certainly qualifying.
The plays of the day are presented by Lexus.
We start you off in Boston. The longtime rivals, the Yankees and Red Sox, at it again. Jackie Bradley Jr. makes the catch, shows off his throwing arm. A one-hop effort to the plate nails Greg Bird. Red Sox to beat the Yankees 4-3.
North of the border for number 2, a chopper to second. Ryan Goings with the hurry, so he flips his glove to get the out at first. Look at that. Take another look at it. The Jays would fall 4-2, but they finished 21-6 in the month of August.
And for our top play, Chris Archer, the former Cubs farmhand, serves one up to Manny Machado. Looks like this one is long gone. Archer thinks it is, but Kevin Kiermaier way above the boundary to make the catch. Archer said, I can't believe that. Shades of Mike Trout, who made that catch against the Orioles. Pretty impressive by Kevin Kiermaier. He jumped so high he actually turned his ankle on the play, had to leave the game, and the Rays would go on to win it 6-3. That is some great timing in the outfield.
Used to happen to me all the time. Jump too high, twist your ankle. All the time.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
We are done here. Thank you so much for watching Sportsnet Central, presented by GMC.
I'll see you back here at midnight for the next live edition of the show. Remember, for news 24/7, check out our website at csnchicago.com. See you at midnight.
I
thought you said you were going to test drive this Buick first.
I am test driving it for 24 hours.
Nice Buick. I guess the test drive last night went well.
Actually, I'm still on it. You know we're test driving this Buick for 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
Test washing it.
Oh, okay. Well, let me know when you're done. I'm going to take it test shopping.
Now get the best of remaining 2015s with cash back for 15% of the MSRP on select Enclave models in stock the longest. That's over $7,200 on this Buick Enclave.
A few years ago, I won $1,000 a week for life, and I got myself a suit.
Morning.
Morning. Because when you're collecting $1,000 every single week, you can never be too careful. I'm good. And this baby has saved me more than a few times. Okay. All right. Let's do this.
Win up to $5,000 a week with Cash for Life. The longer you live, the more you get.
Get ready for Spider-Man, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Captain America, Black Widow, and many more as they battle Loki and Marvel's most sinister villains for control of the ultimate source of power. Journey into a universe unlike anything you've ever seen and experience this epic event live. Marvel Universe Live.
Playing at United Center September 10th through 13th and at Allstate Arena September 18th through 20th. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
A message from Mizo Advocates. For decades, many Americans working in the trades were exposed to environmental hazards without their knowledge. While the dangers of one such airborne threat, asbestos, have long been known, efforts were made to hide the risks from the public. The result, thousands of cases of asbestos-induced mesothelioma. Those in the trades may have been harmed by hundreds of companies who produced asbestos-laden products. The U.S. Bankruptcy Court has established asbestos trusts with $30 billion in initial funding. If you or someone you know has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, get the best care available, then call Mizo Advocates. You may be entitled to financial compensation without ever going to court. Our network of attorneys is ready to fight for you. Call for a free, confidential consultation and see how we can help. Mesothelioma. Don't fight it alone. Act now.
Please call 800-960-6320. That is 800-960-6320.
We now join the following program already in progress.
So they got here, they went out to dinner, they're relaxed, they sleep in. The Cubs did not land, by my calculations, till like 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning in Chicago.
What are your calculations? FlightAware.com?
Pretty much. Flight tracker.
Well, what are your calculations? Do you have the team flight tracked?
Well, no, but I know how long it takes to do the media shower, get all the stuff.
They had to do the team photo with the onesies.
With the onesies. So by the time you got on the plane, it was probably close to midnight here, maybe 12:30. Got a 4+ hour flight. By the time you get your bags, you get home, you're not in bed between 5:30 and 6 a.m.
They are on adrenaline. They're young. They're enthusiastic. They're loving life right now.
They are.
I don't think they're caring about sleep. They want to get to the ballpark. That's how much fun this season is.
They'll enjoy a day off Thursday.
September is tomorrow, September 1st, and you are in it. You are right now 94% chance of making the playoffs.
It's crazy.
This is fun. Okay, top 3 trades in Cubs history. The Jake Arrieta one, I don't know where it goes yet because I don't know that it ranks in your top 3 or 5. Potentially, yes. Is it in your top 3 or 5?
The Arrieta one? Potentially.
Yeah. Potentially, but not yet.
Potentially.
I've got, in order, Sandberg 82, so Boa and Sandberg for Ivan DeJesus. Sandberg was a young minor leaguer at the time, the key to that deal. The big Rick Sutcliffe trade in 1984.
Yep.
That was the big one in June that put them over the top that season. And then this one, because of the way things have turned out, it's unfortunate, but you have to, when you just look at the production, Sammy for George Bell.
Great
Sammy
call.
Sosa for George Bell in 1992. Hard to compare the relative values of what George Bell meant to the White Sox and what Sammy Sosa meant to the Cubs.
Better living through chemistry, but you're right. The impact he had.
That aside, at the time, we were all oblivious to that.
All right, here's mine.
Okay.
The Arrieta trade's on the list.
And I think Arrieta's in, right around that.
Hesop Choi for Derek Lee.
Oh, that's a good one.
Phenomenal trade. Gary Matthews and Bobby Dernier for Bill Campbell and Mike Diaz.
Oh, I forgot that one. That
in 84 in spring training.
That was huge.
Right before the
getting
season.
Sarge and Bob Dernier.
Aramis and Kenny Lofton trade. They gave up Matt Bruback, Jose Hernandez, and Bobby Hill. The Sutcliffe trade you mentioned. The Sosa trade. The Sandberg trade. And then the Cubs acquired, this is going way back, I had to Google this. Cubs acquired Kai Kyler from the Pirates for Sparky Adams and Pete Scott.
What year was that?
1927.
Were you doing pregame, postgame with Holly? Or no?
We just started the next year.
Okay.
Kai Kyler was one of the best players in all of baseball. He was a Hall of Famer.
Is he the one who hit the ball last night that Castro pooted?
Kiki Hernandez.
Okay.
And then the other one would be the Cubs got Fergie Jenkins, Adolfo Phillips, and John Hernstein for Bob Buell and Larry Jackson.
I asked for 3. You're giving me honorable mentions.
So,
all right, that's a good list.
It's a good list.
Let's take a phone call. I want to talk to Larry in Orion, who has a thought about Jake Arrieta and what we were talking about in terms of his contract status. How would you handle it if you're the Cubs? Morning, Larry. How are you?
I'm doing fine this morning, and I appreciate you guys on being on the show. You guys are great. I love you and watch you all the time.
Thank you.
About the Arrieta contract, it seems to me like every time somebody does something good, we want to throw money at him. And
well, that's business, Larry. That's business.
Well, I understand that, but it's lousy business. If somebody does something good at a workplace and they throw money at him all the time, that's not good for business.
Right, but Larry, if someone can leave as a free agent, that's the difference. Now, he can't yet. He's got 2 more seasons, but that's the way the market goes, the way the baseball system set up. I agree with you. It's not great, but it is what it is.
Well, and I understand that and I agree with that, and that's why I'm kind of leaning toward your scenario that you had. Maybe the only thing I would change is instead of maybe a 1-year contract, a 2-year extension, and tie him up for another 4 years, and then you're all right. But if you give him a long-term contract and huge money, with the way arms go today, he could be done tomorrow. And then, like I say, business-wise, that just doesn't make sense.
You're right, Larry. Thanks for the phone call. That's exactly right. You're wary about pitchers and long-term deals. Thanks for the making that point, because it's a good one. You still have to realize that's a price of doing business in the free agent market. I guess the tricky thing about this, Cap, is that this isn't the free agent market. You're trying to keep him off of that, and you're going to try to pay, probably to do that. But I just don't know if you have to do that yet. Do you think that sounds like a move Theo would make? I don't know.
Well, if you told me that I could buy out the first 2 years of free agency and the last 2 years of arbitration, so I get the next 4, I would do a 4-year deal.
4-year deal. 5-year makes me nervous.
Makes me nervous. He hasn't proven enough for me. He's great right now.
17 wins.
He's great.
And a no-hitter.
He's outstanding.
And he's got the great background. I'm not going to. If I talk any more about Jake Arrieta, he's going to insult me. I don't want to do that because I'm going to keep it positive.
David Hogg, your critique of me stinks.
He's had one of the best. It's one of the best seasons. It's one of the best stories in Major League Baseball right now, and I think the Cubs are the beneficiaries of that.
Jerry in the West Loop. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
Hey, guys. How you doing today?
Good. What's up, buddy?
I want to make the guy that just hung up. Evidently, he's never been counter-offered on this job. The company didn't want to keep him bad enough to make him a counter-offer. That's what you guys are talking about. That's the American way. But let me say this here. The Cubs lost 4 out of 6 games on this road trip. Arrieta pitched 1 game. I'm trying to figure out – I understand the no-hitter. Trust me. And I understand being ecstatic. But, buddy, we just lost a guy that we might meet in the playoffs. How many runs did we score in the last 5 games? That's what I want to ask you guys. Are we having a problem with hitting right now, or is it against the teams that we're playing right now? I'll hang up and listen to both of you guys. Yeah. Have a good day.
Thanks, Jerry. You know what, though? I think that's a valid concern. At the same time, you've got to realize they faced some really good pitchers on this trip.
They lost to Kershaw. They had to face Bumgarner. They faced 2 really good teams. It happens, man.
Joe Madden called it the Cy Young trip. He didn't realize he was going to be ending it with the guy who's getting Cy Young consideration. But you have to, tip your cap to the people that they went up against. And yeah, it wasn't the Bash brothers like you were seeing at Wrigley Field during the last homestand. You weren't having Rizzo and Bryant hit homers, and Schwarber has been struggling a little bit. But the ups and downs of a team when they're this young and still developing, that's all part of it.
All part of it.
Got to get Schwarber back on track, though, Cap.
You do?
Maybe the Reds will help.
Cap and Haw on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Horwitz & Associates, Illinois' top personal injury lawyers.
For 7 years, I was an iron worker here in Chicago until I fell and lost the use of my limbs. The construction company tried to blame me. They said the accident was my fault. But Cliff Horowitz knew the truth, and he proved it in court. I wound up winning a $64 million verdict, the largest in Illinois history. Some people say all lawyers are the same. They're wrong. Cliff Horowitz got my family the whole justice we deserve.
Horwitz & Associates. We fight for working people.
Cliff Horowitz fights for working people.
The stakes are high as the Sox fight for their playoff lives in a huge series up north against the division rival Twins. It's Abreu versus Mauer. White Sox versus Twins. Tomorrow at 7 on CSN.
I hate cleaning the gutters. Have you touched the stuff? It's evil. And ladders. They have all those warnings on them. Might as well say, you're gonna die, Jeff. You hired someone to clean the gutters.
Not just someone. Angie's List helped me find a highly rated service provider to do the work at a fair price.
Everyone can shop, but members get more with reviews, live customer support, and better pricing. Visit Angie'sList.com today.
We use the word Oski not just because of the word Oski or that it's a battle cry of the University of Illinois, but it also stands for something. That stance that we use that word for is our success equals the knowledge of being, the knowledge of being a great student athlete on and off the football field, understanding how to be supportive, how to understand to be successful in the classroom. The E stands for effort, giving all-out effort in everything you do each and every day. And then the last E stands for energy. Energy, being a positive influence on the people around you. Having that belief and that system of as being a teammate, being a brother, the band of brothers.
Big on. Wow. What in the heck are you talking about, Tim Beckman? Well, no more. You're talking about game plans and getting ready for another game as Illinois coach fired on Friday. We used the word Oski.
Bizarre. But you don't fire a guy.
Can I just hear the beginning?
You don't fire a guy
the word
now
Oski
because of that. You don't fire a guy now because he's deemed incompetent. You could have done that anytime. Really. Tim Beckman did not get any dumber from February to now.
Correct.
From last December to now.
But is it true that he had the issues he's being accused of, not paying attention to injuries and bullying players about their... Is it true he's allegedly did that at Toledo?
Is it true? Well, that's difficult to interpret. Now, was he accused of doing things like that at Toledo? There was an incident, I believe he was sued by a kicker for some abusive behavior, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Tribune has reported that. Did he have a reputation for coaching hard? Yeah, he did.
I don't have a problem with coaching hard. I don't.
Again, you're not going to find anybody defending Tim Beckman, and I don't think it's necessarily...
Teddy Karras did.
Well, I think
Teddy Karras being an excellent offensive lineman for the Illini.
The players that are there now are kind of different. I mean, they obviously there's a loyalty factor that you have to respect. He's 12-25. If he were 25-12, I think that we'd be making rationalizations for Illinois why they reprimanded him. That would be a coach getting disciplined rather than fired. The end justified the means, and I think that's what you have when you have football coaches who you coach hard, push players through injury. All right, this is what I'll say about Tim Beckman. What he's accused of doing at Illinois, to me, talking to athletic directors, knowing some coaches, being familiar with college football. What he's being accused of at Illinois goes on at every major college football program in America. Players are pushed beyond their limits. I'm not condoning any of this. I'm just telling you what I believe based on the information that from people I've talked to. Players are pushed. Scholarships are threatened. This has been going on for 25 years that I can relate to. When I was a player at Ball State, I saw it firsthand. I experienced it. You worry about your scholarship year to year. He was fired because there was a very public investigation, a very public complaint.
Do you think
against him?
Do you really believe what you wrote in your column?
I do believe what I wrote in my column. I don't know what you're referring to, but I won't write anything in my column if I didn't believe it.
That if he was 25-12, he wouldn't have been fired Friday.
I do believe that.
Really?
Yeah. You don't? I think it's naive to not believe that.
If he was 25-12 and Mike Thomas was as outraged as he purported to be on Friday about what the findings showed, then he shouldn't be the coach. If that stuff's true,
you don't believe that? Do you disagree with me in that point? Show me what's the smoking gun here?
No, I don't know what the evidence shows of their investigation. If there is a smoking gun, if he indeed is guilty of what they said, and I'm not saying he is. If he's guilty of what he's being accused of, it shouldn't matter if he's 37-2.
But you're familiar with college sports here, Cap.
I am.
All right.
But if he's truly being accused of if he's guilty of what he's being accused of.
What, telling players that they should practice even though they're hurt? That never happens at Alabama, Auburn,
They made it sound like it was far worse than that.
What? Tell me.
Putting players' health at risk. I mean, major.
Coaches put players' health at risk every time they ask them to play beyond a threshold of pain that they're not comfortable with. You could make that argument. The concussion handling is at a point where it's a critical phase in college football and in professional football. How concussions are handled threatens the futures of these student athletes. So you do have to be diligent and vigilant about the way that you manage this. But, Cap, I don't accept that Tim Beckman is on an island here, and this is the guy that's the only one doing this stuff.
You think Urban Meyer walks up to his guys and goes, "Yeah, you banged up a little bit? Why don't you sit out today?"
I think Urban. I don't want.
He goes, "I got 8 All-Americans lined up right behind you. You want to sit?"
I do not want to cast aspersions on a specific football coach, but let me say this: I think that there probably are football coaches that are smoother and more savvy in the way that they get this job done and get that message across than Tim Beckman was at Illinois. I think he's a clumsy communicator. I think he's an awkward man.
Our academic standards have gone skyrocket.
So imagine that guy trying to get a message across to a player. There's other coaches that are just better at it. And I think, though, that it's a culture I'm not condoning, but I think it exists. There's tremendous pressure at these programs to get the best players on the field, regardless of their health status at times. And I think sometimes coaches succumb to that. And that's a case of where you have in Illinois a coach being caught red-handed doing it, so he's fired. But let me get back to this Mike Thomas stuff. Unless you want to interject something right there, because you.
Well, I was just going to say I can't believe Mike Thomas still has a job.
Okay,
Mike Thomas should be out the door.
Well, I think that's an easy conclusion to reach. Okay, but why is that? Not just because things have.
It's the whole culture of the athletic department down there. It's just jump the tracks.
But what put it over the top here, because the culture was dysfunctional for a while now. That outrage that you referred to Friday when he fired Tim Beckman. Come on. Spare me the outrage.
Yeah, that's my
Spare
point.
me the outrage. You're sitting there.
If it's true that he was that outraged, and it really is accurate what he was outraged about, that we've got a smoking gun, as you put it, then how did it take this long? And how'd you not know what was going on?
May 11th, he gets up there after the Simon Savanovich made the accusations on Twitter. Mike Thomas calls it a personal attack on Tim Beckman, supported him almost blindly. And then we know now it was blindly. 109 days ago, 109 days after he did that, he fired the coach he supported. In July, in a sit-down with a couple of Tribune reporters, he calls the situation at Illinois not unique. It happens everywhere, okay? On Friday, he sure made it sound like it was unique. So can you If you want to hold your football coach accountable for his behavior, then you have to hold your athletic director to the same standard for his behavior in light of his comments. To the contrary, you can't run an athletic department like that. It has no credibility now. The top guy's got to go.
Gone.
Got to go.
Out. Pack your bags. 312-235-2525. Shannon Ryan, who's been all over this story, will join us coming up next, and then we'll get to more of your calls. People want to talk about a lot of stuff, including the Cubs. Kevin Hubb, brought to you by Horowitz & Associates, Illinois' top personal injury lawyers. Largest verdict for a brain, back, and neck injury, all in the history of the state of Illinois, the land of Lincoln, baby. That's the triple crown of lawyering. Horowitz & Associates. Our guy Cliff Horowitz, undefeated since 1995. All these guys do, all they do is win. 312-235-2525.
And nobody is saying that Tim Beckman still should have his job. Let's be clear there. I just believe that if you want to say that Illinois is different, show me exactly why you would say that. And then the other thing is, don't stop with just the football coach if you really are truly serious about cleaning up the culture.
Yep, go to the AD's office next.
Do you live in America? Then you have the right to get out of debt. You can eliminate or reorganize and protect houses, vehicles, pension, and other assets. I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. America's debt-free law is called the United States Bankruptcy Code, and we're one of the oldest and largest debt relief agencies in America. Call us or click now.
If you're worried about debt, call now to see if you qualify. 1-800-401-4010.
Now playing on DirecTV Cinema.
We got a distress signal from Air Force One. This is the most serious terrorist action since 9/11.
Big game hunting never got any bigger.
He's just a certified grade A psychopath. The president is in big trouble.
Who are you?
The President of the United States.
Prove it.
You rescued me. I believe in you.
What the hell are they doing?
Big Game. Now playing on DirecTV Cinema.
This Labor Day, we salute the genuine, hard-working folks who give it their best each and every day. At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we do our part by working hard to offer name-brand goods at honest, low prices. Right now, save 20% on select Aqualife faucets. Select GB and Sperry electrical testers and supplies are now 10% off. And this Duracraft Pro 114-piece socket and wrench set is $49.99. Genuine value. That's Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
It's the Gerald Kia Grand Opening Celebration. Come and share in our celebration as we open new doors on Aurora and Ogden Avenue in Naperville. We're celebrating by giving you the biggest discounts of the year with the largest inventory in Chicagoland, backed by Gerald's exclusive lifetime warranty. Gerald Kia will serve you better. Come test drive a new Kia today and see why Gerald Kia is the 2015 National Dealer of the Year for excellence in customer satisfaction. Come in today to celebrate the grand opening of the all-new Gerald Kia of Naperville.
So the Sox get their Tyler Saladino walk-off victory yesterday. They claim, they put David Robertson on revocable waivers this morning. The Yankees claim him. They have until, what's the deadline? Today's the deadline, August 31st, deadline today, to make a deal. How active are you if you're the White Sox trying to get rid of, unload talent? Jeff Samardzija hasn't won since the trade deadline.
Any money I can move and get anything back at all? Yes. Alexi, done. See ya. Thanks. Save me $1 million.
I told you my White Sox plan last week. You know, Trace Thompson in right field, Avi your DH, Carlos Sanchez at shortstop, Micah Johnson at second. You've got to start thinking that way.
I agreed.
Sox-related thought, Addison Reed. You see where he's former White Sox.
Yeah, who just
reliever?
picked him?
The Mets.
The Mets got him.
Make a big deal with the Diamondbacks. So the Sox, things aren't going so well. I think that they're now 7 games back for the final wild card spot if you're keeping track at home. And why you are, I guess, you know.
Yeah, they're done.
They're done. They're 61-68. But they go on the road now, right? They go on the road. The White Sox play the Twins. So they're in your college town.
Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Twin Cities.
There you go.
Our defense has just absolutely sucked.
And by the way, nice job, Chuck Swirsky, filling in for Hawk.
Chuck's really good at it.
He really did a nice job over the weekend.
Set Stoney up. It's really good.
Yep.
Hey, Japan crushed the U.S. and wins the 2015 Little League World Series. Couple points. One, U.S. had like a 10-0 lead in the first. 10-0. And loses this game 18-11.
Nope. You're not going to call a bunch of 12-year-olds choke artists, are you?
No.
Okay,
no,
all right,
no.
good.
But I'm so over the Little League World Series. Get it off TV and leave me alone.
45,000 people there yesterday, Cap.
Great. I used to watch it back in the day when Cody Webster of Kirkland, Washington, it was like a big deal. It's going way back.
What was the Burroughs
Cody
kid?
Webster's probably 40 years old now. I don't know.
I remember Jeff. Wasn't it Jeff Burroughs' kid?
Yeah.
He was really.
Yep. How old is the
powerful.
Cody Webster of Kirkland, Washington kid? He was like the star.
I don't know. But you didn't feel this way a year ago. A year ago, Chicago was captivated, moved, transfixed, transformed.
And then again, like Danny Almonte being 62 years old, pitching in the Little League, there was something else going on. So I'm just
So
over
you
it.
think these Japanese kids have got it all going on? You think they're legit? Don't you think there could be some gerrymandering of those districts over there?
No question.
I mean, there's got to be something going on.
Really good kid in Osaka we could bring over. I mean, I'm
how
done
do you
with it.
how do you know? But why are you done with it now?
I was already.
You loved last year. You loved it. You were eating it up by the spoonful.
Right.
Jackie Robinson West. We all were.
Yes, we did.
But I'm done now. I don't believe any of it. I think that wouldn't be shocked if they're taking steroids. I'm done. Completely done.
Is it? I mean, because they blew a 10-0 lead. What if they would have won 17-2?
It's done. I'm not done. I had no interest.
You had no interest? Did you watch any of it yesterday?
We flipped through the channels. We ended up watching the Saints and the Texans.
You didn't seem to hear as much
and
buzz.
the White Sox.
There was less of a respectful buzz on social media this year from like Major League Baseball players and personnel about the Little League World Series. Maybe we just noticed it more last year because Chicago was involved.
Okay, so let me just tell you something. Cody Webster, they say, is the greatest U.S. Little League player of all time. He led Kirkland, Washington to the Little League Championship.
Yeah.
They won the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how old he is?
No.
I remember this little kid that I was cheering for. I wasn't a kid. Cody Webster now operates a baseball academy and is 45 years old.
So he was a Little Leaguer 33 years ago.
He was a Little Leaguer in 1982.
Okay.
1982. So that's
33 years
33. And you're 13 when you're playing? How
12.
old are you?
12, yeah.
45
12 plus 33
flipping years.
is 45.
Thank you.
Yeah.
45 flipping years old.
Oh, but
I cannot believe that.
it's gotten to be too much because of put it on television, making it the spectacle that it's become, has sort of warped people's reality. That's what. If that was what you were objecting to, I could probably have a reasonable discussion. Something tells me that's not it. You're just kind of mad at the whole JRW thing. You feel a little cheated. You feel like you get duped. We were all duped.
Again, the Danny Almonte thing. I bought in. Hook, line. Oh, what a great story. No, you're 19. No wonder you were blowing 12-year-olds away. Yeah.
It's kind of like that Seinfeld episode of Kramer with the karate.
Yeah.
Beating up the little kids. Yeah. Kicking away at 10. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with the
I'm so
Little
glad
League.
you shared that with us. All right. So one of the things over the weekend during the Cubs trip in L.A. was that Vin Scully announced that after 2016,
that he'll be retiring.
But after 67 years.
Going one more
That's
year.
the bad news. The good news is he's come back for one more
Did
year.
you see how they announced it?
That was great.
Jimmy Kimmel on the scoreboard?
Yeah. During the game. In game.
Back.
Yeah. And then a social media explosion ensued. I thought it was really neat that Joe Madden
went up to take a picture.
Yeah, and he said he doesn't do that, but he wanted one with Vin Scully. And Vin Scully wanted to meet Joe Madden, apparently, according to the story that I saw. And it
Gonzo right there?
Nope. So Vin Scully announces he's coming back and is there for everybody to appreciate because he is a baseball treasure.
Very cool. David Ortiz had his 494th career home run this week, and he passed Lou Gehrig and Fred McGriff. He's 27th all-time on the home run list. This is a guy that was non-tendered by the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, well, then he found Flintstone vitamins, and we all know what happened next.
And Theo picked him up.
Yeah, right.
How about that?
It's a lot of home runs.
That is
It's a lot of home runs. It's a guy who has, been exposed as a cheat.
Is he a Hall of Famer?
Why would he be a Hall of Famer and the other guys not?
Because maybe he admitted it.
Does that make him less enabled or empowered to hit home runs because of unnaturally?
He's never admitted it?
I don't think he's admitted it. I think that he's paid for it, right? He was suspended, correct? He served a suspension. I don't know how you could suggest he's a Hall of Famer and the other guys aren't.
I didn't say he is. I asked the question.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, David Ortiz says he never knowingly took steroids.
Right. Were you buying that?
No.
You've had enough.
Here, Cap, take this. What's in it? Don't worry about it. Just take it.
Don't worry about it. Boom, Cap hits 2 home runs. Boom, hits 2 more. Boom, he's an all-star. What am I taking? You never ask. I don't know. I don't know. Big Poppy's been good for Boston. He has been tremendous ambassador for the Red Sox.
Well, after the horrific Boston Marathon
that was a moment.
Explosions, he was unbelievable. When he dropped the F-bomb, and Boston strong, everybody rallied around that.
People rallied around him, and I am not a Bostonian, but I can appreciate what that means to a city. But I'm not going to, overlook it for him and not everybody else.
Cap and Haw on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by Horowitz & Associates, Illinois' top personal injury lawyers.
For 7 years, I was an iron worker here in Chicago until I fell and lost the use of my limbs. The construction company tried to blame me. They said the accident was my fault. But Cliff Horowitz knew the truth, and he proved it in court. I wound up winning a $64 million verdict, the largest in Illinois history. Some people say all lawyers are the same. They're wrong. Cliff Horowitz got my family the whole justice we deserve.
Horowitz & Associates. We fight for working people.
Cliff Horowitz fights for working people.
My dad thinks the best color for a car is red. My cousin says he prefers European cars. And my friend, well, he thinks everyone should drive what he drives. My car is my car, and it's my choice. Mitsubishi.
Go to MaxMatson.com. There's 0% APR financing for 60 to 72 months plus APR cash. And a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Since 1982, more than 50,000 buyers have called Max Matson their Mitsubishi dealer.
Whoa, Marge. You're not Marge.
I'm sort of Marge. We both drive a stick. We both like saving money on car insurance. And we both feel integrity, such as that of healthcare in the America of the U.S. And therefore, yes. Thank you.
No, please, stop!
Sorta you isn't you. Start with a quote from Esurance and get a set of discounts personalized to you, not someone sorta like you. Esurance, backed by Allstate. Click or call.
The stakes are high as the Sox fight for their playoff lives in a huge series up north against the division rival Twins. It's Abreu versus Mauer. White Sox versus Twins. Tomorrow at 7 on CSN.
I'm Gordon Beckham, and you're watching the home of White Sox baseball, CSN Chicago.
Hey everyone, I'm Luke Stuckmeyer. Welcome to Sportsnet Central, presented by CLR. Kyle Hendricks taking the mound, just hoping to follow Jake Arrieta's unhittable performance. But could the Cubs withstand a grim performance from the bullpen? Plus, the Cubs make a move to bolster their playoff push, but one White Sox arm isn't changing his pinstripes.
To say it's perfectly settled at this point, probably not the case.
And after the first round of cuts, the Bears roster doesn't look any clearer. But in the college ranks, final rosters are being set. We're going above and beyond on Sportsnet Central right now.
Connected to Sportsnet Central, presented by CLR.
And if you don't know about me by now, you better ask somebody.
Well, they certainly know now. Jake Arrieta was honored for his no-hitter during a brief on-field ceremony before Monday's game against the Reds. It included pitching coach Chris Bosio and the guy who caught the no-hitter, Miguel Montero. Highlights of the performance were shown on the 2 new video boards. Jake was presented with a watch for his National League Player of the Week honor. So as the series with the Reds opened up at the friendly confines, Kyle Hendricks taking the mound, wondering how you going to follow up that performance by Arrieta. Cubs opening this 3-game set against the last place Reds scoreless in the third. Dexter Fowler gets him off to a good start. Fly ball to left. That's his 15th home run of the season. It's 1-0 Cubs. Fourth inning, Reds with a runner on. Brandon Phillips lines out the second, but Starlin Castro's throw to double off Joey Votto is wild, and Votto eventually scores to make it 1-1. Top of the fifth. After an intentional walk, loads him up with 2 out. Phillips comes in with a single to left. 2 Reds coming to score Cincy a 3-1 lead. Kyle Hendricks giving up 3 runs in 5 innings for the Cubs in this one. Cubs were 0 for 18 with runners in scoring position in that weekend series with the Dodgers. Bottom 5, 2 on Addison Russell. Not going to leave him here. He doubles down the left field line. Ball takes a favorable Cubs bounce. 2-run score. Russell with a double, tying the game at 3 apiece. 2 batters later, Kyle Schwarber with a Q-shot single here, up the middle. Russell comes around to score. Cubs with 4 runs in the inning. They have a 5-3 lead. That lead didn't last long, though. Justin Grimm on in relief in the 6th. Runner on, Ivan DeJesus going deep to right, and it's out. His 10th of the season ties the game at 5. Grimm stays in the game, still nobody out. Runner on, pinch hitter Adam Duvall with a home run onto Waveland. Duvall called up hours before the game goes deep in his first major league at bat of the season. 7-5 Reds. Grimm, 4 runs in just a third of an inning. Bottom 8, Cubs with 2 runners on, 1 out. Aroldis Chapman in for a 5-out save, and he gets Tommy La Stella looking there. Then Joe Madden puts the runners in motion. Chris Bryant thrown out at second by Tucker Barnhart. That ends the Cubs rally. Top of the 9th, bases loaded with 2 outs. Suarez, the ground ball to Castro. He can't handle it. The throw is late, and a runner scores there. Castro's second error of the night. It got worse from there. 10-5. Russell fields the ground ball. Double clutches, then goes to Castro, and he just misses it. Third error of the night for Castro. 4th in 2 nights as the Reds pile up the runs late. They win it 13-6, the final.
Kind of a bad ending, too. It was actually didn't start that good. In the middle part of the book was actually a pretty good read. Then eventually became a nasty ending. I mean, once Grimmer got in that game, I felt actually really good about it. Rested bullpen, Grimm, Rodney, Stropey, and Rondon. I felt really strongly about it, and they just popped 2 quick homers right there. That caused you to use the bullpen a little bit differently, and it just did not want to play in the end. I mean, the walks by Travis in the 9th inning really set it up, although we were out of it with the ground ball, but nevertheless, that's uncharacteristic of him to walk just like that, walk guys with pitches that didn't have that normal crispness about them. So listen, there's this, I am over it already. You just throw that one away.
Well, plenty more to come on the Cubs. Jake Arrieta still needs 6 more no-hitters to catch his childhood idol, Nolan Ryan. The Cubs righty explains how he channeled the Ryan Express as he made history at Dodger Stadium. Cubs also added to their outfield depth, acquiring Austin Jackson from the Mariners. Cubs gave up a player to be named later and an international signing slot for the 28-year-old. Triple-A Iowa infielder Mike Olt was designated for assignment to make room for Jackson on the 40-man roster. Jackson has certainly done a lot since his July 31st trade deadline to raise his value, hitting .314 in the month of August. He's hitting .272 on the season, but the power numbers haven't been there since he came over from Detroit in a deal last July. Also has a lot of playoff experience, 35 games in the postseason with the Tigers over the course of 3 seasons.
I've seen him for a long time in the American League. He's a really good player. And when he starts swinging the bat well, he's very productive. Fine outfielder, good base runner, stolen bases. Kind of a complete player. So to be able to pick him up right now, I think we're very fortunate.
A little bit more of a need with Soler being out?
Yeah, just in the depth component also. It always, you never know what's going to happen during the course of the next month. If somebody were to get hurt again, all of a sudden you're really backs against the wall. So we just talked to Theo about it today. Went back and forth about all the reasons why you would do something like that, and we felt good about it.
Cardinals hosting the Nationals, jump to the 7th. It's 3-2 St. Louis. Ryan Zimmerman A couple guys on base and liftoff. 3-run shot to deep center. His 13th of the season, putting the Nationals on top 5-3. But in the bottom half, the Cardinals rally. 1 run already in. Johnny Peralta pokes one into right. Matt Carpenter comes in to score, and all of a sudden you're tied at 5. Next up, Jason Hayward with 2 on. And Hayward goes the other way. This is going all the way off the wall. 2 runs scored to put the Cardinals back on top 7-5. They tack on another, and they win this one 8-5. Well, the White Sox spent big on their new closer in the offseason, but the Yankees hit the waiver wires trying to get David Robertson to swap pinstripes once again. Only 1 game left for the Bears before everything counts, and John Fox still has plenty of decisions to make, specifically on the offensive line and in the secondary. Plus, a pair of Blue Jay sluggers do something nobody's done since Ted Williams and the Red Sox in 1950. We'll tell you what it is next on Sportsnet Central.
Do you have tough cleaning jobs around your house? Calcium deposits, lime, rust stains, yuck. Well, clean up fast with CLR. CLR's powerful formula blasts through tough cleaning problems inside and outside the house. It tackles buildup on shower heads, even coffee pots. And CLR has an EPA designed for the environment seal, so it's safer for your family and the planet. CLR, tough on yuck, gentle on everything else.
CLR is available at these fine stores.
Where should you get advice about getting out of debt? Geraci Law is one of the oldest and largest debt relief law firms in the country. I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Whether you're high income or low, rent or own, if you need advice about mortgages, bill collectors, foreclosure, finance companies, or almost any debt problem, call Geraci Law or click now.
If you're worried about debt, call now to see if you qualify. 1-800-401-4010.
My heart and my broken bones. If I can't stand up on my own, don't make me stand alone. Lift me up so I can see the light. For when the sun goes down, I will lay in your arms tonight. Don't be afraid, your heart's been repaid.
Friday nights, tune in to CSN for the best preps football recap show in town on High School Lights. Hosted by Kelly Kroll, it's Chicagoland's premier destination for post-game highlights, interviews, fan reaction, and more. High School Lights, Friday at 11 on CSN.
The stakes are high as the Sox fight for their playoff lives in a huge series up north against the division rival Twins. It's Abreu versus Mauer. White Sox versus Twins, tonight at 7 on CSN.
He always had a lot of promise with the Baltimore. He's taken it to a completely different level with the Cubs. Nasty slider at 90 to strike him out. To his left, Russell. Got it. And he is through 8 with the no-hitter intact. It'll be up to Chase Utley. He's flirted with them before. He's a strike away now. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, a no-hitter. Jake Arrieta has just pitched a no-hitter at Dodger Stadium. A curveball got Utley swinging, and Arrieta being mauled by his teammates. What a great performance by Jake Arrieta.
Jake Arrieta still enjoying his first career no-hitter. And the National League Pitcher of the Month seems to be getting even stronger as the season goes on. Kelly Kroll has the story.
Jake Arrieta flirted with perfection in one iconic venue last season. And the righty said because of that experience, he wasn't even a little nervous as he approached history Sunday night at Dodger Stadium.
Not really, actually. Since I've had a couple games like that in the past, a couple into the 7th inning, so I was pretty confident of how to handle it, and really just not allowing the moment to dictate my mentality or my mindset.
I was just excited for him. I wasn't surprised once I realized that what had happened. I just thought it was kind of like a complete game, but once everybody ran on the field, then I was running out on the field, I kind of looked back and saw it said first career no-hitter, so I was like, yeah. It didn't surprise me at all, though. He's got great stuff. Unbelievable.
And anytime Jake pitches, it's kind of easy to play defense behind him because he throws a lot of strikes and works quick. And I mean, yesterday he was just on it.
It's been a few too many times, especially with him on the mound, where you think early, okay, this is the one. And this one, for me at least, was different. It was more just to not think it. And then the ninth inning there, just one out at a time.
And that night, last night, you can't just draw it up any more perfectly than it turned out. Whether it was obviously his performance in that venue, his performance in that venue against that team.
Just like his childhood idol, Nolan Ryan, Arrieta struck out 12 batters in his first career no-hitter. It may be a long shot to reach Ryan's record of 7 no-hitters, but one thing Arrieta matches every time out, the trademark intensity of the Ryan Express.
He was a huge idol of mine growing up as a kid. Just his intimidation factor, his competitiveness. You could tell he put fear in hitters' eyes. He was just that good.
Ryan followed up his first career no-hitter with an encore performance exactly 2 months later. And if Arrieta is on the mound pitching exactly 2 months after his no-hitter, he'll likely be pitching in Game 3 of the World Series right here at Wrigley Field. Covering the Cubs, I'm Kelly Crawl for Comcast Sportsnet.
And that's trouble. Hit well, deep. Is it fair? It is. Second 2-run home run for the Reds in this inning.
Well, Cubs return home after that Jake Arrieta no-hitter, and they get blown out 13-6 by the Reds. It was a 2-run game entering the ninth, but a pair of errors by Starlin Castro led to a 6-run Cincinnati inning. Castro had 3 errors in the game. He now has 4 in the last 2 nights.
The first, the one to his left, you'd have to ask him. I don't know if the concentration was there or not. The second one, I think what I saw happen was Addison looked like he was going to throw to first base and then threw to second base, and maybe Starlin took his eye off of him because he thought he was throwing to first base. So a little bit of a deke, but it was still a good throw, and he should have caught it. But I think that's what happened.
I don't have any excuse of this, but he should have made that play. You know, it's right in the chest. We don't have any nothing can say about this. You know, just have to make that play. He gotta confuse me a little bit, but still, it's a like throw right there. You know, I have to make that play.
After the game, Cubs made it official. They're bringing up Javi Baez among their 4 September call-ups. Baez was hitting .321 with 13 homers at Iowa. Also joining the Cubs, Tsuyoshi Wada, Trevor Cahill, and outfielder Quentin Berry. Meanwhile, White Sox closer David Robertson was claimed on waivers by his former team, the New York Yankees. According to multiple reports, the Sox didn't engage in any serious trade talks and pulled Robertson right back off waivers. General Manager Rick Hahn's still confident this team has the talent to show improvement in 2016. Sox likely just gauging the market or trying to slow down another team, checking to see if maybe somebody would grossly overpay for him. White Sox back in action tonight here on Comcast Sportsnet. Chris Sale will be going on against the Twins. They've won 8 of their last 10 games. On Monday, we caught up with former White Sox sluggers Jermaine Dye and Frank Thomas, who talked about the rough season for Robin Ventura's guys.
It's been tough. I mean, you know, it's been an up and down year for those guys. You know, they looked pretty good right before the All-Star break. They got on a big winning streak, so you felt like the season was going to turn around. And, you know, some guys are having some tough years.
Honestly, it's been a bad season. You know, it's been a roller coaster up and down. You know, they've tried everything. I mean, they stay loyal to the team. I don't think I could have stayed loyal at the break, you know, with this team. I think at the trade deadline I would have made some moves, but they played so well at the break they kind of handcuffed Rick Hahn and the whole situation. But that's just what it is.
Battle of hot teams north of the border. The Indians have won 5 in a row, while Toronto's won 4 in a row. In the third, Ryan Goins fields a grounder and flips the ball to first with his mitt just in time for the out. What a play. Bottom of the 5th, 2 on for former Cub farmhand Josh Donaldson, and he continues his monster year. 2-run score on the triple. Donaldson leads all of baseball with 108 runs knocked in. Top of the 7th, game tied at 2. Jerry Sands with a ground single to left. That was off of David Price. Indians win 4-2, handing Price his first loss as a Blue Jay. So the Blue Jays finished the month of August 21-6, mainly because of these guys. Encarnacion, 26-game hitting streak, a whopping 421, 11 homers, and 35 RBI. Donaldson matched his home run and RBI total with a .327 average. They're the first teammates with 35 RBI in a month since 1950, when Ted Williams, Walt Dropo, and Bobby Doerr accomplished the feat. Rays in Baltimore taking on the Orioles. Top 4, 1-0 Tampa with a man on as Asdrubal Cabrera gets a hold of this one. Deep to left and out for a 2-run shot. Rays take a 3-0 lead. Top of the 5th now, it's 4-0. Evan Longoria adds to that. Solo shot, this one to left center, his 15th of the season, as the Rays win this game 6-3. Yankees and Rangers still atop the wild card standings in the American League. Twins keep hanging around, just 1 game back at Texas. Angels, Rays, and Indians still within striking distance too. Our Bears preseason coverage brought to you by Apt Electronics, Appliances, and more. Don't expect to see Jay Cutler play in the final preseason game, and the same might be said for his backup, Jimmy Clausen. He was held out of practice on Monday with delayed concussion symptoms from a 4th quarter hit. As for the guys protecting the Bears quarterbacks, well, their status is up in the air too. Kip Lewis has the story from Hallis Hall.
We've got options. We got guys we're looking at. To say it's perfectly settled at this point, probably not the case.
The options John Fox is referring to is at right tackle, where so far this preseason, it's been a rotation of Jordan Mills and Charles Leno, neither of which has been able to lock down the spot to this point. And because of that, Kyle Long is back taking some reps at right tackle with Vladimir Dukas at right guard. But Long is yet to play in live game action on the outside.
Well, he's had plenty of practice at both guard and tackle. We'll end up whoever ends up, proving they're worthy. And, I think there's a certain amount of comfort in what this is, and then there's, I don't know that you ever really get comfortable because, it's very fluid, and, it's been like that every season I've been in the league, and I'm sure this one will be no different.
On defense, there is plenty of shuffling as well. The release of former Pro Bowler Tim Jennings means the Bears will have 4 new starters in the secondary. Alan Ball, an 8-year veteran, is the likely candidate to start opposite of Kyle Fuller. The former Jacksonville Jaguar started 22 games over the last 2 seasons before arriving in Chicago, where he's now recovered from off-season biceps and ankle injuries.
I feel healthy. I think coming through OTAs and minicamp, getting that rest and working me back in through training camp, I think just getting confidence back in my body and getting the healing and getting everything together. It's been a process. It's been a long process, something I wasn't really accustomed to or used to. But I think the training staff did a good job with me, and we worked together hand in hand, and it's all been good. I'm feeling really positive and healthy going forward.
The secondary will also have a new guy playing the nickel position that could end up in the hands of Sherrick McManus, who spent the majority of his first 5 years in the NFL as a special team standout.
Pretty comfortable. I don't know everything yet. There is the know at the nickel position, and I doubt that'll ever happen. I'm just continue to grow, like I said, and watch film, and my comfort level will get better and better each day.
With the Bears at Hallis Hall, Kip Lewis, Comcast Sportsnet.
Thanks, Kip. U.S. District Court Judge Richard Berman will decide whether to uphold Tom Brady's 4-game suspension for his role for using slightly deflated footballs in the AFC Championship. Berman says the 2 sides couldn't work out a compromise, so he'll make the final decision as early as today, but no later than Friday. And that gave the court sketch artist a second chance at drawing Mr. Tom Brady. I'm guessing he and his wife will be a little bit happier with this effort. At least it looks like Tom Brady just a little bit. The Washington Redskins have named Kirk Cousins as their starting quarterback, and not just for the season opener. Washington coach Jay Gruden says Cousins has earned the job. Robert Griffin III still out with a concussion, and when he eventually is cleared to come back, then the Redskins will decide if RG3 or Colt McCoy will be their backup quarterback. News and notes from elsewhere in the NFL. Buffalo Bills cut 9-year veteran Fred Jackson Monday morning before naming Tyrod Taylor, their starting quarterback. Taylor will make his first start week 1 against Andrew Luck and the Colts. His last start was with Virginia Tech in 2011 and the Orange Bowl against Stanford's Andrew Luck. Former 3rd overall pick Trent Richardson cut by the Raiders, and new Jaguars tight end Julius Thomas could miss 4 to 5 weeks with a finger injury. Illini looking to turn the page after a tumultuous couple of days, and their interim head coach is excited by what he's seen.
Wide open. Bears preseason coverage is presented by Abt, electronics, appliances, and more since 1936.
Realtor.com presents real estate in real time. Realtor.com is the home for all things real estate. Our school ratings tool lets you search by school boundaries to know exactly where to live to get your kid into the best school. Because we believe sending your kids to better schools means sending them to better colleges, which means they get better jobs, which means you can eventually live off them. This one's gonna be a billionaire, aren't you? He's the one to watch.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or unsecured loans, this is what it looks like. But there is a solution. Only National Debt Relief has the Debt Reset program that negotiates with your creditors to reduce your debt down to a fraction of what you owe, and will customize a low monthly payment plan, helping you become debt-free in as little as 24 to 48 months. And you don't pay a dime until we succeed.
Call now for your free $100 gift card. Call 800-256-9112.
If you or someone you love is suffering from addiction to drugs or alcohol, National Rehab Recovery has an important message for you. Each year, we lose hundreds of thousands of our family members and loved ones to drug and alcohol-induced causes. If you have insurance or the ability to pay for 30 days of treatment, National Rehab Recovery can change your life. Medicare and Medicaid are not accepted at this time. The call and confidential consultation is free.
1-800-373-9975.
Comcast Sportsnet, your home for Chicago White Sox baseball.
We're back with our Great Clips download of the week. It's Marist High School's Darshawn McCullough, who Friday raced 99 yards to the end zone against Mount Carmel at Soldier Field. Take a look at this crazy run. McCullough refusing to be tackled, spinning his way through defenders on the way to the end zone. You can log on to csnchicago.com and download the Great Clips app on your iPhone or Android. College football ready to kick off, and for the Illini, that first game should be a little interesting. Illinois will host Kent State on Friday, and the players haven't had a whole lot of time to rebound from last week's stunning firing of head coach Tim Beckman. Interim coach Bill Cubitt believes they'll be just fine.
Friday, it's here. You know, it's one of those things. It seems like it's been so far, but now it's just right around the corner. Can't thank enough the players. They've been unbelievable. The community's been unbelievable. I like the way the community is rallying around these student athletes. I've got a lot of feedback from alumni from as far back over there as Washington on wishing our kids luck and seeing that they need our support. So that's been a great sign.
Over in Evanston, Northwestern, gearing up for a brutally tough 2015 schedule that starts Saturday with a home date against 21st-ranked Stanford. The Wildcats are going with redshirt freshman Clayton Thorson as their starting quarterback. The former Wheaton North High School star won a 3-way competition for the job. Pat Fitzgerald credits Thornton's leadership as one of the main reasons.